Hi, everybody. The Microsoft Surface event just wrapping up in New York City. ZDNet's Ed Bott is there. You listened to all of the announcements coming out, a lot of them introduced, Ed. So before we get to some of the surprises, talk about what they announced here today and what really caught your attention.
Yeah, it was one of the most information-packed Surface events that I've seen in 7 years of covering these things. The Surface line keeps growing. Today, they announced the Surface Laptop 3, which is now going to come in a 15-inch version. People have been asking for that. It also has some new serviceability options, so you can unscrew the little feet from the bottom of it, take the top off, and corporate customers will be able to go in and replace the hard drive or service the motherboard. It's a thing that corporate customers have been asking for a while. There's some new materials, aluminum, machined aluminum, and solid black models that they have. But the real news there is that there's a new 15-inch model. Really nice laptops. There's a brand new model in the Surface Pro, the Surface Pro 7. That has the Intel 10th generation processors in it, the Ice Lake processors. And the battery life on these, at least Microsoft is claiming, we won't get a chance until we actually test it to confirm this, but they're claiming some really impressive battery life specs for these new laptops. It's like 11 and a half hours on average for these new, traditional laptops. Very similar to the older designs, but very, very nice devices. They also have a feature called fast charging, which means that you can go to 80% battery capacity in 1 hour of charging. So that's something that people have been asking for a while. You sort of expect it from your phone. Well, now you'll be able to get it from one of these Surface devices. And then finally, on the laptop front, there's a brand new ARM-powered device called the Surface Pro X. And that one has a custom chip in it that was designed with the help of Qualcomm. So Microsoft and Qualcomm partnered together on that one. Very interesting device. It has the same form factor as the Surface Pro, but it has a 13-inch screen squeezed into a 12-inch chassis. So you get a much larger screen than you're used to. It has a different pen, a very slim pen, and the pen has a very cool little carrying pocket that's up at the top of the click-on type cover, and that actually charges it automatically while it's being stored in there. So, but that device it's ARM-powered and should have an exceptional battery life. I would estimate that it'll probably be 15, 16 hours of battery life. And that's the kind of productivity that you really want. It also has LTE connectivity built into it. So a really fascinating new device.
All right, and Ed, all the buzz, though, right now surrounding this event, of course, centers around the surprise announcement that what a lot of people did not, or most people, I think, for that matter, see coming.
Yeah, there were, one of Microsoft had several leaks before this event today. So a lot of people knew that, that some of these things were coming. And so we got to see today two new devices that are coming out in the holiday season of 2020. One of them is a foldable device. It's a dual screen device, 9-inch screens. And you open it up and it looks like a paperback book. And you can have one app running on one screen and a separate app running on the screen opposite it. Or you can have an app that spans across both the screens together, so you get to use all of the capabilities of it. Or you can flip a little type cover up over the bottom and have it be a full keyboard with what they're calling a wonder bar at the top that gives you support for emojis and custom buttons and stuff. It's an absolutely unique device. There is nothing out there that's like it. The second device, and this is one that took everyone by surprise, is a new phone. And of all things, it's an Android phone. The thing that surprised me when I saw them put it up on the screen is the first thing you see is a Google search box on it. And you know, when you've been working with Microsoft as long as I have, you're so used to seeing Bing there that seeing Google on a Microsoft screen is almost jaw-dropping. But it's a really interesting device. It has the same sort of form factor, although smaller, as the larger device. Larger device is called the Surface Neo. The smaller device is called the Surface Duo, and they both fold open and have this you can do two things at once option for them.
All right, and so Ed, these two devices specifically that you're talking about here that are due out at the end of 2020, you know, one being an Android phone and the other is a Windows device. But is it really Windows?
Yeah, that's a really interesting question because this isn't the kind of device that you could run just a standard, you know, distribution of Windows 10 on. So what Microsoft has done, the other announcement that they made today, was a new edition of Windows called Windows 10X. X as in exceptional, X as in experience. You know, we'll see what their where that name came from, but it was previously rumored to be something called Windows Lite. And indeed, that's kind of what it is. It doesn't have all of the elements of the Windows interface that you expect. And most importantly, it doesn't have the Win32 subsystem built into it. So it's not running the, you know, it will run standard Windows desktop apps, but they'll run in a container. And so that gives you, when you're just using the apps that are built for this platform, they're going to be very fast, very performant, and very easy on resources. But if you need to run a full Windows desktop app like Microsoft Office, you can do that too, and it'll run in this, and it'll run in a container. So Windows 10X is something that we're going to see coming out over the next year. Now, it's only going to appear on devices like this one, and there will be other devices built for Windows 10X from manufacturers, and they mentioned in particular Dell, Lenovo, HP, and Asus, who are all working on dual screen devices that will run Windows 10X and will be out in the holiday 2020 season. And that's what I saw today in New York City.
All right, Ed, and before we let you go, I know you've been covering Microsoft for many years now. So just what was your overall impression or feeling that you walked away with from this event as compared to maybe past years, and then just the feeling in general with the people there?
Yeah, you know, this is, you know, like I said, the very first Surface event was 7 years ago. And so, you know, and they've been doing this every year since then. And there have been surprises, there have been new product announcements, and there have been incremental improvements every year. But this was the first one where I think from start to finish, they were really showing what this team is capable of doing. Some very, very impressive engineering work here. I just, you know, I was thinking, I was talking to some of the other members of the press who were there. We were thinking back to that first Surface event from 7 years ago, and my goodness, things have really changed. But this was a lot of new stuff happening here. It's going to be really exciting to see how these products evolve during the next year and how people respond to them.
Yeah, most certainly. An action-packed day, to say the least, Ed. Well, we thank you for that. And if you'd like to learn more about all the details from the Surface event, make sure you check out Ed's full article on ZDNet in Tech Republic. Thanks for watching.